Our top focus: 14 people, including 12 children and 2 teachers who were on a picnic, died after a boat capsized in Gujarat's Vadodara. The boat was ferrying 27 students of a private school, none of whom were reportedly wearing life jackets. An investigation has been launched into the lapses.
एक बोट में करीब 35 लोग सवार थे। शायद बोट की कैपेसिटी ज़्यादा बच्चे बिठाए हो, बोट का बैलेंस गया, बोट पलट गया और उसमें बोलते हैं कि जो सेफ्टी मेजर्स होने चाहिए वो थे नहीं। साइड पे गोताखोर या लाइफ गार्ड नहीं थे। बच्चों ने लाइफ जैकेट नहीं पहना था। हादसे में करीब 14 बच्चों की डेथ हुई है। उसमें 14 लोगों की डेथ हुई है, उसमें 12 बच्चे, 2 टीचर हैं।
फिलहाल अभी कोई मिसिंग तो है नहीं, बट फिर भी हम मिसिंग है या नहीं उसका कंफर्मेशन ले रहे हैं स्कूल के साथ। अगर मिसिंग हुआ, हमारा सर्च एंड रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन तो साथ में शुरू ही है, पर लग नहीं रहा है कि कोई मिसिंग है। जैसे टैली हो रहे हैं, जैसे नंबर्स टैली हो रहे हैं, उसमें मिसिंग तो नहीं लग रहा है, बट देन ऑल्सो वी आर सर्चिंग।
अच्छा, कोई मौत का आंकड़ा कंफर्म हुआ है कितना है?
नहीं, वो हॉस्पिटल से हो पाएगा आपको।
गुजरात के वडोदरा में आज ये हम खड़े हैं मोटनाथ लेक पे, हरनी लेक पे। बहुत ही दुखद हादसा हुआ है। 1993 में वडोदरा में ऐसा ही एक हादसा हुआ था। तब 22 लोगों ने सुरसागर लेक में अपनी जान गंवाई थी। आज शाम को 4:30 के 5 के बीच में सनराइज स्कूल के बच्चे अपनी टीचर के साथ सुबह जब निकले थे तब बहुत ही खुश होंगे और याद आए थे कि पिकनिक मनाएंगे, बोटिंग करेंगे, लेकिन नहीं पता था कि इतना बड़ा हादसा हो जाएगा। 4:30 और 5 के बीच में 27 लोग एक बोट में सवार थे और कोई 27 से 30 बता रहे हैं और लोग सवार थे और बोटिंग कर रहे थे, लेकिन ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा, कैपेसिटी से ज़्यादा लोगों को बिठाने की वजह से ये हादसा हुआ है। और जो भी गार्ड वगैरह था बच्चों को पहनाया नहीं गया था और उसके बावजूद ज़बरदस्ती लोगों को एक ही बोट में घुमा के लेके आए ताकि दूसरा राउंड ना हो। इसकी वजह से ये घटना हुई, नाव पलट गई और बच्चों की करुण मौत हो गई। आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ एनडीआरएफ की टीम जो 3 लगाई गई है, दमकल की टीम है, वो पिछले 3.5 घंटों से बच्चों को ढूंढा जा रहा है क्योंकि 5 बच्चे अभी भी मिसिंग है, मिल नहीं रहे हैं। कितने बच्चों को अस्पताल लिया गया है और आदि जो दूसरे बच्चे हैं कि कोई प्राइवेट अस्पताल में भी इलाज चल रहा है। आप देख सकते हैं जाली डाल के बच्चों को ढूंढा जा रहा है। कहने में आ रहा है कि 4 से 5 बच्चे हैं वो अभी भी लापता है, जो मिल नहीं रहे हैं। थोड़ी देर में आधिकारिक तौर पे यहाँ पे हमको जानकारी मिली है कि सीएम वडोदरा आने वाले हैं, वो रास्ते में ही है, पूरा मुआवजा करेंगे और पूरी घटना के बारे में जानकारी लेके फिर मीडिया से बात करेंगे।
News now from Manipur, and fresh violence rocks the state. 4 people killed and 7 injured in the last 24 hours. A father-son duo were among the 4 persons who were killed and 7 others injured in separate incidents as incidents of sporadic violence were reported across the state. Bishnupur police retrieved bodies and deposited them at the district hospital before these bodies were brought to the mortuary of Imphal-based hospital. Meanwhile, Manipur security advisor Kuldeep Singh alleged that some militants from Myanmar may have been involved in the attack on police commandos recently. Remember, 2 commandos were killed in action in More, which is around a little over 100 kilometers from Imphal.
There was intelligence from before that the PDF insurgents operating at More and maybe some reinforcement from Burma side also may attack the state forces at More. So with that, the forces were prepared, and from large number of days these kind of attacks were coming. But attacks were coming from far areas, they were not from nearby areas.
This is not the first time that the Manipur government has come on record to say that armed miscreants from the other side of the border, people belonging to the Myanmar rebel groups are involved in the firefight that More is witnessing since the beginning of this year, since the first week of this month. In fact, previously Chief Minister N. Biren Singh had also brought similar allegations. In fact, what is significant here is that after yesterday's killing of 2 commandos in the attack which took place in Moreh, and then subsequently last night there was a mob attack on 3rd Indian Reserve Battalion of the Manipur Rifles, where while the mob was trying to get into the barracks, the security forces present there had to retaliate. In that they were firing and 3 BSF personnel were injured. Even today there have been reports of firing in different areas, including Moreh, and in Bishnupur district there in a village suspected gunmen came in and they fired at the locals, in which a father and a son duo have been killed. There have been injuries also in that incident. Another incident in Kangchup, where there have been exchange of fire, in which one civilian have died, and so there are reports of 4 civilians dead in the last 24 hours.
Staying with news from the northeast, and over 270 Myanmar army men are reported to have crossed over to Mizoram. The Myanmar army personnel were seeking refuge in Mizoram because after fleeing their camps post violence and clash with rebel groups. This is, of course, the second time in 2 months that we have reports coming in of Myanmar soldiers seeking refuge in Mizoram. Now, the government cracked down on coaching centres. New guidelines by the Ministry of Education says that students under 16 years of age cannot be enrolled into coaching institutes. This after the shocking death at a coaching centre in Indore, where an 18-year-old student collapsed on his desk and died.
शिक्षा मंत्रालय ने देश भर के तमाम कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स के लिए गाइडलाइन जारी की है, जिसके तहत 16 साल से कम उम्र के बच्चों का दाखिला कोचिंग वाले नहीं ले पाएंगे। और खास तौर पे ये दाखिला जो है 12वीं के बाद जो एग्जाम होता है, जैसे जेईई का एग्जाम हो, नीट का एग्जाम हो, क्लैट जैसे या प्रतियोगिता जो परीक्षा वाले एग्जाम है, उन कोचिंग संस्थानों पर ये लागू होने वाला है। और इसमें सीधे तौर पे दलील दी गई है शिक्षा मंत्रालय की तरफ से कि आत्महत्या की बढ़ती घटनाएं और साथ में कोचिंग सेंटर्स में जो सुविधाओं की कमी को इस बीच में देखा गया है, जिसमें आगजनी की भी घटना आई, उसके बाद ये महत्वपूर्ण हो गया था कि इस तरह की गाइडलाइन जारी की जाए। राज्य सरकारों को देखना है कि ये गाइडलाइन मुकम्मल तरीके से कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट प्रभावी तौर पे लागू कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे हैं, उसको मान रहे हैं या नहीं मान रहे हैं, उस पर निगरानी रखने की जरूरत है। साथ में ये भी कहा गया है कि इसमें कोई भ्रामक खबर कोचिंग वाले नहीं दे सकते हैं। जब परिस्थिति कोई ऐसी आगजनी की आए तो एग्जिट प्लान, वहां से निकलने का रास्ता कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट में हो। कोई मेंटल प्रेशर कोचिंग संस्थान वाले बच्चों पर नहीं बना सकते। बच्चा अगर चाह रहा है कि कोचिंग में दाखिला के बाद वो निकलना चाह रहा है, उसमें नहीं पढ़ना चाह रहा है, तो 10 दिनों के भीतर कोचिंग संस्थान वालों को वो पैसा रिफंड करना पड़ेगा, देना पड़ेगा। और इसमें यह भी कहा गया है, सिर्फ यही नहीं, अगर वो वहीं पर फूडिंग लॉजिंग की भी बात है तो वो पैसा भी कोचिंग संस्थानों को लौटाना होगा।
New guidelines, as I mentioned, of course, come in after that shocking death in Indore. Take a look at this report.
An 18-year-old boy collapsing in class as he has a heart attack in a classroom in Indore. The entire distressing incident was caught on this 32-second CCTV clip at the coaching class. The student, Madhav, is seen seated in the crowded classroom looking at his book. Suddenly he leans over his desk in apparent discomfort. The student next to him leans over and rubs Madhav's back and then tries to catch the teacher's attention. Seconds later, Madhav collapses completely, slipping off his desk and falling to the floor. Other students rushed to help. Madhav was admitted to a nearby hospital but died hours later.
एकदम से चक्कर आया, टेबल पे गिरा, तत्काल 10 मिनट के अंदर हॉस्पिटल में पहुंचा दिया था। फिर 10 मिनट बाद रिपोर्ट आई कि डेथ हो गई, बोले डॉक्टर ने।
बेटे उसको शायद बेसुध हो गया था। वो बेसुध होने के बाद उसको अस्पताल लेके आए थे, ये एप्पल हॉस्पिटल में, जहाँ डॉक्टरों ने उसको मृत घोषित कर दिया है।
Madhav's death has focused attention again on the silent heart attack, which media reports say has claimed at least 4 lives in Indore alone over the past few weeks.
Well, it's very hard to say that stress caused the event we saw on the video. It so happened that when the person was sitting in class when the event occurred in his heart. It's very difficult to say that the stress actually caused it. Do regular exercises. If you have a family history of anything unexplained, go get a checkup.
As per NCRB, sudden deaths claimed more than 56,000 lives in 2022, which is an increase of around 12% as compared to the previous year. Nearly 57% of these deaths were due to heart attack. With Sameer Khan in Indore, Anurag Dwari for NDTV.
Time for us to take a short break. News and updates will continue on the other side. Welcome back. Time for an NDTV exclusive. This with Union Minister Kiren Rijiju. Speaking to NDTV's Nikunj Garg, Rijiju led a blistering attack on Rahul Gandhi, saying that the Congress MP is disconnected from reality. He added that Rahul Gandhi is unable to inspire, which has led to Congress losing a string of top leaders in the run-up to Lok Sabha elections.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi is entering Northeast, various parts of Northeast, started from Nagaland, then now he's in Assam, and he's taking out another yatra of his. But on the other side, and I ask you this specifically because you yourself are a young leader and now you've been a cabinet minister and minister for 1 decade. Almost all the young leaders of Mr. Gandhi's party are deserting that party. You also tweeted about it. What do you think is the issue here? As a young leader, I'm not asking you as a BJP politician, I'm asking you as a young leader, what's the issue here?
Rahul Gandhi doesn't have hope. That is the biggest issue. Now, how do you generate hope? Through positive talks, through visions. You have certain plan for the future. Rahul Gandhi has no hope, or he offers no hope because he doesn't have any plan for the future. He is extremely negative. Not only he is a person who talks about irrelevant things, but he lacks basic knowledge and understanding. It is incoherent. Whatever he talks, it is incoherent with the ground realities. That is why all the young leaders of Congress party are leaving Congress party, because they are young leaders. They want some future prospects, which Rahul Gandhi can't offer.
But let me come back to the point that you make. So you are wanting to say, Mr. Rijiju, that Rahul Gandhi is hopeless and the people of India have rejected him. This is what you are wanting to say essentially.
Not only people of India. Congress people are reeling under extreme difficult situation. On the one hand, they want to revive Rahul Gandhi. On the other hand, Rahul Gandhi is an object which cannot be revived. He is practically standing with the people who have a divisive ideas about India. On the other hand, he is hollow talking about uniting India. It doesn't gel. It's not practical. That is why he may have some people roaming around here and there, taking selfies, photo clicks and all, some kind of a small gatherings and all. But in electoral politics, to win the election, you have to be deeply connected with the people. Rahul Gandhi,
you mean to say he is not deeply connected with the people? Mr. Gandhi is not deeply connected with the people?
Not only deeply, he is disconnected with the people. He is disconnected with the grassroots affairs. He doesn't know the reality.
Now, the Delhi High Court has refused to stay the eviction order against TMC leader Mahua Moitro. Moitro had moved court against the government's eviction notice, which asked her to immediately vacate her government bungalow. Hearing the petition, the High Court said that Moitro got her bungalow because she was an MP and does not have any right over it now that she's been expelled. Now, amid the diplomatic row between India and Maldives, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar meets his Maldivian counterpart on the sidelines of the NAM summit in Uganda. Jaishankar said that he had a frank conversation on ties between the two countries. Remember, a massive diplomatic row had erupted between India and Maldives, with Maldivian ministers making derogatory comments against Prime Minister Modi. Let me go across to my colleague Kadambini. Kadambini, what are we to make of this meeting, which is on the sidelines of the NAM summit? Is this an attempt by both the sides in order to do some sort of a damage control?
Well, this is the first high-level meeting after the controversy which has erupted. Actually, the controversy is on two fronts. One is of that where Maldives has asked India to withdraw its troops by 15th of March, and another one which you mentioned about the comments made by the deputy ministers about PM Modi. Now, after this meeting, the foreign minister of Maldives, Musa Zamir, has also tweeted. He has said it was a pleasure to meet with the External Affairs Minister of India, and we exchanged the views on ongoing high-level discussions on the withdrawal of Indian military personnel as well as the expediting of completion of ongoing projects. So the projects are still going on, and as the Minister of External Affairs today also said that there was a meeting of core group, and both the sides are looking for a solution which is mutually agreeable solution for the troops to remain to help in medical evacuations, which Maldives also appreciates. So another round of core group meeting will be taking place in Delhi. It's an ongoing discussion. In the midst of this meeting also gives an opportunity to both the ministers to talk about these controversies and find a better option, find a ground where both the sides who have been there, especially India, which has been there for Maldives in all sorts of times, to find a better solution to do some damage control and also for better collaboration.
Kadambani there, thank you so much for joining us with that update. Now, amid the row over the video in which passengers of an Indigo flight are seen eating on the tarmac in Mumbai airport while waiting for takeoff, Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia said that the way the security was compromised was completely unacceptable. Remember, the centres issued a host of new guidelines following multiple fog delays and incidents of flight mismanagements. Indigo CEO, who was present at the same event, also said that handling flights amid fog is a challenge they are trying to cope with.
So we've had a few days of zero visibility. In those days of zero visibility, even with Cat 3 runways, it becomes difficult, if not impossible, for landings and takeoffs. So that caused a chain of events which led to this aircraft coming into the airport, and then as opposed to it going into a parking stand for reasons that I cannot even imagine.
You see, and I'm sure all of you have seen some of the statistics, we actually had probably the worst fog in many, many years. Many of our stations in northern India were severely impacted by the fog situation. So if northern India is under a blanket of deep fog, we're having a challenge.
Meanwhile, Air India got a new look, in fact unveiled the brand new look, new branding, new logo, new interiors, the first glimpse of the new livery of Air India flights there. The new look will of course be seen more prominently next week. This was the first glimpse that Air India actually gave of its new branding.
Namaste, welcome aboard. Welcome to India's first Airbus 350-900.
And with that, it's a wrap on the show. Keep watching NDTV.